what has occurred is the way that the city keeps its records has changed numerous times over the last number of years. And so indeed, it's difficult to draw comparisons between what happened in a very different era in the 1980s and 90s when inflation was higher, and in fact, the council of the day had a very good record for fiscal management. My opponent has cast some aspersions on that record, and I believe that it's incumbent upon me to ensure that that record be cleared up, because a lot of people were involved, and a lot of sacrifices were made at the time to ensure that, in fact, the city's financial position was in a very good position at the end of 1998 when I was elected to Parliament.
How would you describe your track record?
I believe my track record was one of being fiscally prudent. We worked towards reducing the debt on a over a long number of years, and so we did it with a lot of discipline, and the taxes were also very well controlled at the time. Again, it was a very different time. Since that time, we've had government downloading changes. We used to have the education taxes in with it. What has occurred lately, however, is that the amount of money that's going through the utility bills has doubled during the last 7 years. So the off the taxbook taxes that we're seeing have gotten much larger, and that is what people are upset about. The fact that it's a hidden tax, that the current mayor is saying that he's in fact been reducing taxes. The mill rate has gone up over the last 7 years by 14%, and the amount of money collected in taxes has gone up by 21%, due most likely to some growth in the early years. But what we need to clear the record on is that it's not about a very different tax and spend regime now than it was back then. I think that our record speaks for itself. In the 80s and 90s, Windsor was a very well-run machine.
Based on the current debt reduction policy, your opponent says that debt will be reduced to under $100 million by 2014. Have you seen the debt reduction policy? Would you agree with it?
If they continue with the pay-as-you-go, what they call the pay-as-you-go scenario, then it's possible to reduce the debt further, and a lot depends on other things. For example, over the last number of years, a number of assets have been sold, like the property for the bridge for $34 million, the property for the parkway for about $20 million to the province, and these amounts of money help to bolster the city's financial position, either through reserves or reducing debt. And by not issuing a great deal of debt on the city's books, in any case, they're able to reduce because you're paying them off over a number of years.
You're here today on the issue of Canderel, the Cleary. Are those relevant today for either side of whether it's your opponent or your position?
I'm not casting any aspersions towards my opponent. What I'm doing is trying to clarify the record that, in fact, the Canderel issue is not something that can properly be blamed on me. The decision to go ahead with the expropriation was taken over my objection, and after I left. The issue with regard to the Cleary Auditorium, the Cleary was built during the Milson era, and we had no casino gaming, we had no other convention facilities, and it was a decision of the day that made sense in the day. The current administration has decided to actually pay St. Clair College to take over that facility, and you know, I'm not close enough to the reasons for that decision, other than trying to bring St. Clair College downtown. I don't know how else it's justified.
If the debate was held on Tuesday, why today to clear the air?
Basically, I've been the brunt of another one of Mr. Graston's cartoons, and I expect that the Windsor Star will be coming out again this weekend and further trying to inflict some lumps. So I thought that it was appropriate that at least we clear the air, and let's just use facts the way they should be used, and not try and color the truth.